Okay, so I was diving into this xv6 project, and it adds a whole TCP/IP stack to the RISC-V operating system. Super interesting, right?
Wait, seriously. I thought xv6 was mainly about simulating Unix-like environments. What's the motivation behind adding networking?
Exactly, it's like giving a new life to an OS that usually runs isolated. Networking opens up so many possibilities for development and testing.
Right, and it's fascinating how they've ported microps, a user mode TCP/IP stack. It's more like a bridge than a complete overhaul, huh?
Yeah, but isn't it risky to rely on a user mode stack? I mean, performance might be a concern, especially under load.
That's a good point. Microps is a lightweight solution, but it might run into issues with high traffic. What do you think the trade-offs are?
It's definitely a balancing act. On one hand, there are easier debugging and development conditions, but performance might drop.
And then there's the Vertionet driver for emulation in QEMU. So cool that they're making network devices more virtual.
Vertionet sort of abstracts away hardware complexity, right? But I wonder if that creates its own set of limitations in testing real-world scenarios.
Good call. Emulation is powerful, but it's not exactly the same as actual hardware interaction. It could skew performance results.
Totally, and what about the socket API they've implemented? That's a standard interface that developers are already familiar with.
Exactly. It eases the learning curve for those dipping into xv6. But does it fully cover all the nuances of networking tasks?
I'm starting to think it may not. If it's too standardized, it might overlook specific performance enhancements needed for certain applications.
That's an interesting critique, but it could also be a good thing. Standardization means better maintainability and easier onboarding for new users.
True, it might strike a balance, but doesn't it also limit innovative features that novel applications could leverage?
Yes, and when it comes to network configuration, using a command like ifconfig is so user-friendly. But what if it isn't quite comprehensive?
Right, I can see newcomers easily getting confused if they want to dive deeper. It would be nice to have clearer guidelines.
And what about that quick start guide? Just cloning the repo and building in QEMU sounds too good to be true.
Oh yeah, but who knows if it'll work smoothly for everyone? I mean, extra dependencies or configurations might trip some people up.
Good point. There's always that potential for hiccups in initial setups. Have you seen how the TCP Echo server works yet?
Yes, it's pretty neat how the TCP server sets up listening on port 7. I love that it's a great example of real-time interaction.
For sure, but how efficient is that socket communication? I mean, what's the minimum latency we're looking at?
That's a solid question. Latency tests would be really insightful to know how effectively it performs under load.
And it's intriguing how they use Netcat to connect. It's like a crossover between development and troubleshooting.
Exactly. It's almost as if they're making practical development tools accessible for testing network capabilities.
But I wonder about security aspects in this entire integration. There's always the risk of vulnerabilities in networking, right?
Absolutely, with added connectivity, you introduce the potential attack surface. That opens up a whole new level of concerns.
And vulnerability management is a huge deal. They'd need to think about securing this implementation carefully.
Right, they need proactive measures in place, not just reactive ones. It's vital for any networking project.
And let's not forget about the licensing under MIT. That opens up collaboration opportunities, but could also lead to misuse.
True, MIT is excellent for community-driven projects. Just hope developers keep in mind the ethical use of this technology.
So if we put everything we've discussed together, this xv6 networking project is certainly innovative, but not without challenges.
Exactly, it really makes me wonder, how long until we see similar projects allowing for more advanced network functionality in lightweight OS?
Good question. It could really shake things up in how operating systems evolve. I'm excited to see where it goes.
Same here. It's like a sneak peek into a future where possibly even more minimalistic approaches reshape our network interactions.
And the potential for pushing boundaries in academic research and practical applications. Can't wait to explore further.
It's definitely a thrilling space, And I think the discussions around security will only intensify as these projects evolve.
Yeah, and who knows what else might emerge from this integration. Maybe we'll see even more powerful connections soon.